Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most famous, most fundamental numbers in the entire universe.
Go ahead, think about it for a second. It sounds like a brain teaser, right? But the answer is this one single, kind of elegant number. A number that, believe it or not, shapes pretty much everything around us, often in ways you'd never ever guess.
So, to figure out that riddle, we've got to start with the basics. Let's break down what this number actually is and why it's so incredibly special.
That's right. Every single time you see a perfect circle, whether it's the pupil of an eye or a ripple in a pond, there's a hidden code, a universal rule that's baked right into its shape. And this is that secret rule. You take literally any circle, I don't care if it's a tiny button or a giant planet, and you measure the distance all the way around it. That's the circumference. Then you divide that by the distance straight across the middle, the diameter. And here's the crazy part. You will always get the exact same number, every single time. And that number, well, that's pi, written with the Greek letter pi. So what is this magic number? Well, its value starts with 3.14159. Now, you see those little dots at the end? They are super important, and we're definitely going to come back to them. For now, just remember this is the number that connects every single circle in existence. So how do we actually use it? It's way simpler than you might think. If you know the diameter of a circle, just multiply it by pi, and boom, you've got the distance around it. Or if you only have the radius, which is just half the diameter, you multiply that by 2, then by pi. It's like the master key for unlocking the measurements of any circle. Okay, so let's move from the abstract idea to the real world. Let's see how this number pops up in some powerful everyday situations. This is where pi gets really practical. The distance around your car's tire? That's calculated with pi, and it tells you exactly how far your car moves every time the wheel spins once. Or hey, think about a round tablecloth. Pi is what tells you exactly how much fabric to buy. It's simple, but it's absolutely essential stuff. You can probably guess the answer. Of course not. This is where the story gets really interesting. I mean, if pi were only for measuring circles, it'd be useful, sure, but its influence stretches way, way beyond that. Now we get to see pi break out of its shell, to step outside of basic geometry and show up in some of the most fascinating and, frankly, unexpected places. I mean, just look at this list. The sheer versatility is staggering. We're talking architecture, engineering, physics, sending rockets into space. And then you see things like statistics, weather modeling, and music. How is that even possible? How can one number connect all these totally different fields? Well, let's start with space exploration. When NASA wants to send a rover to Mars or park a satellite in orbit, they're dealing with curved paths, with orbits. And what's the one number you absolutely need to understand curves and rotations? You got it, it's pi. It makes sure those multi-million-dollar missions actually get where they're supposed to go. Or think about the incredible domes on old cathedrals or modern sports stadiums. An architect uses pi for more than just the pretty shape. They use it to calculate all the stress and the load on that structure. To put it simply, without pi, those amazing buildings probably couldn't even stand up. And this one might be the most surprising of all. The formulas that describe how waves behave, it doesn't matter if it's sound waves traveling to your ear, light waves from the sun, or even the way a river naturally carves a winding path, they all involve pi. It's like pi is the secret ingredient describing the natural rhythms of our universe. And hey, here's a fun bit of cosmic trivia for you. Albert Einstein, the guy who totally changed how we see space and time, was born on March 14th. That's 314. Pretty fitting for a genius who spent his life working with the fundamental constants of the universe, don't you think? All right, let's go back to those little dots we saw after the 3.14159. This is where pi transforms from just a useful number into a profound, mind-bending mathematical mystery. You see, pi is what we call an irrational number. Now, that doesn't mean it's crazy. It just means you can't write it out as a simple fraction, like 1/2 or 3/4. It means its decimal digits just keep on going forever without ever falling into a repeating pattern. So get this.
Using massive supercomputers, people have calculated pi out to over 100 trillion digits. And in that entire, endless string of numbers, there's no pattern. It just goes on, forever unique. You can see why mathematicians are so completely captivated by it, right? It's a total enigma. Okay, so after all this, from engineering to infinity, let's bring it back home. Why should you, personally, give a second thought to this number? The truth is, pi is kind of for everyone. If you're a student learning geometry, you use it. A designer creating a logo, you use it. If you're a builder, an engineer, a scientist, it's a cornerstone of your job. Heck, even if you're just a chef who wants to cut a pie into perfectly even slices, pi is there, working quietly behind the scenes. At the end of the day, pi isn't just some number for a math test. It's a fundamental piece of reality itself. It's this silent, invisible thread connecting geometry, physics, and the natural world. It's the quiet hero, hidden in plain sight, which brings us right back to where we started. The next time you see a pizza, a car wheel, or the full moon hanging in the night sky, ask yourself this question. Is it just a round thing? No, it's an object running on the operating system of the universe. And it's powered by pi. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.